Hey creators, it's the Lady Laughs a Lot, and I'm here to share my happy day at Stampercon 2024 in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm excited to share with you some of the items and demos I saw, as well as add some thoughts about how we can use them with art journaling and memory keeping. First off, in case you didn't know, Stampercon is a rubber stamp and paper crafting convention promoted by Blue Knight Rubber Stamps. Here's another family that found a creative outlet while handling hardships and hospital stays while their son was suffering with cerebral palsy. On their About Us page, she writes about the therapeutic value of being able to create while being at her son's bedside, and also finding value in sharing her cards with others. The Allentown show is just one of 3 shows they promote a year. My favorite part about these events is being surrounded by like-minded people as we share our love of these products. Just look at all those things. I'm not a card maker or scrapbooker per se, but my art journaling and memory keeping style uses all the same products and techniques. It's a great time to meet new faces and learn new ideas. This is a good time for me to mention I am not getting paid to share any of this information, and I do not represent any of these companies. My interest is sharing with you, my creators and fans and friends and family, to see how we can incorporate these ideas into our art journaling and memory keeping experience. And for that reason, I'm mostly sharing the demos, which I did get approval to share from each vendor. My first demo, fortunately, was with Blue Knight, making this card. I really should use my rubber stamps more. I use stencils more often, so I was really enjoying this simple cloud stencil. This technique made a stunning cloud effect, and a stencil like this can easily be made at home. Whether using scrap cardstock or upcycling some acetate packaging, it's not that difficult to cut and create your own cloud stencil at home. If you do use acetate, stick some washi tape to it so it doesn't disappear right in front of you. While using angular swipes with the applicator, just alternate the angle and position of your stencil as you move down the page. It's so simple, yet effective. Back to the demo. Blue Knight had stamping presses set up to make the demos easy peasy. But what I really found interesting was how they used a rubber stamp block adhered to the ink pad to make it easier to ink the stamp. How ingenious! Next up, I came across MyCraftProject.com demonstrating one of my favorite techniques, using the artistic cocktail napkins you see everywhere these days to embellish your project. I did not sit for the demo, but this sample card gave me a great idea to share with our art journaling club this summer. I was not surprised to see that they were selling napkins in packs of 2 instead of having to buy the usual packs of 20 or more. While you get more of a variety this way, at $3 for 2 napkins, it certainly isn't cost effective. For years now, I've been grabbing an extra napkin or 2 when I go to parties. Consider trading with friends or let them know what you're up to. Nobody minds sharing 1 or 2 napkins out of their pack. Even as word of our journaling club is spreading, we have friends donating their extra napkins. Ooh, pink flamingo alert! Where was I? Next up, Inky Antics was demonstrating solar paste. Oh, Simon Hurley, how I've been watching your demos on YouTube of your solar paste and trying with great restraint not to buy them. But look at these samples, they are so gorgeous! These solar pastes are white texture paste tinted with mica powder. So on white paper, you're really not going to see it until the paper is tilted. But when used on a dark paper like black, it is stunning. The thicker the layer of paste, the more white it appears. But spread it thin and the shimmer just pops. In this demo, she showed how simple palette knife swipes produce a delightful mix of thick and thin application. It creates a wonderful texture and shimmer.
You see all the color in there?
Oh my gosh, yes.
So now, because it's still wet, I'm going to put my glitter on it.
Yes.
So we're just gonna glitter some pieces of it. Doesn't have to be the whole thing.
For the sake of time at the demo, she heat set the paste, but you can also let it air dry. She went back with another color to add some detail. Added more glitter because, why wouldn't you? Heat set, then used a white pen to add imperfect and broken lines around the butterfly. Hey, and by the way, listen to this hack regarding these pens.
Now, with these pens, especially since I'm going through glitter and paste and all kinds of stuff, if it does get clogged, you just take on a dry piece of your body, whatever's sticking out, and it doesn't have lotion on it, okay?
Temporary touching?
Yeah.
Have lotion on my hands.
Yes, yeah, you want to take and get it in. There you go.
Who knew?
Good job.
Yeah, right?
That's
Wow.
the solar paste.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Hold on to your hats because next up is Stampers Anonymous. Hello, my name is Barbara and I am addicted to Ranger Inks and Tim Holtz products.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. There is something about the nostalgia and mystery I feel when drooling over the distress and vintage works of this style. Look at those little jars. It has that steampunk feel, vintage apothecary. All these pieces are made on wooden and dimensional items. It is truly a mixed media delight. I can't get enough of this. Look at these jars and that little spoon and the texture on the jars. But it also translates to art journals or junk journals. You'll recognize the influence these have in my work. I mean, from the tabs on the edges of pages, the typed out wording cut out, the strings wrapped around tags, the little threads that are hanging out. Oh, I could spend a lot of time here, which actually I did. Those of you currently keeping up with my channel know I'm working on a crazy lapbook adventure. If I survive that, I would love to make a small book like this. You'll actually see me attempting to create some folders like this for the lapbook. You'll forgive me if I linger here just a little bit longer. Not a card maker, but they're wonderful. Stampers Anonymous also carries products from another favorite creator of mine, Diane Reese. Always so bold and colorful, her style is instantly recognizable. Look at those colors. Just to surround myself with their inventory. This is heaven for me. Northwood's rubber stamps is next. Again, I don't do a lot of stamping, and Northwood certainly has several to choose from. But they were doing a demo, and the cards really caught my eye. I mean, besides the embossing and sparkle, what caught my attention was the way the images were colored in with a watercolor style. But it turns out she was using Tombow water-based markers. Okay.
I clear embossed over VersaFine. I use VersaFine to stamp with, clear embossing powder,
Okay.
and then I just color with Tombow markers. Let's take our purple. I'm gonna dot, because the purple's really rich, really dark, so I'm just gonna put some dots. We don't need a lot of purple.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take a little bit of water and just swish it around.
Oh, wow.
You can see how that purple's very dark.
Wow.
So I spread that around. if I only use a little, because that's a very
Yeah,
intense color.
That's perfect, and it
Yeah. Yep.
varies
And then I
the
just add a
darkness.
little
Looks more
green.
natural.
Do the same thing, a little bit of water. Spread the green on the leaf. The key is a good paper. If you have a good watercolor paper,
Okay.
this technique's going to work out really nice for you. That's all there is.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
And then on a lot of these, it looks like you've added some sort
Glitter.
of glitter.
Yep. So what I do for that, I use the Art Institute glue,
Okay.
and I use this really fine tip, so it's got
Nice.
a little nice control. We'll put some on here. I'll just put a line, a couple lines. You can put dots, whatever you like to look at.
And does it stay dimensional like that?
No, it'll flatten out.
It will flatten out.
Yeah. It's the purple glitter. I like to match my colors up. Whatever I colored, I try to use that color glitter. I'm going to put just a little purple on there. Shake this off.
Oh, that was talented. That's tough to do.
Yeah. You get enough practice, you can do it. And that's it. And then once that dry, it will flatten out. It doesn't stay poofed up.
Beautiful.
Like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's very fun. Easy way to color. It's quick, too. You get it done quickly.
Certainly, yes. Okay, so in my world, this conversation of markers is huge because whether I'm doing these like on location journaling pages, I'd like to call it urban sketching, but I've been calling it illustration. It's important to me to be able to make a mark and then add water to it, even if I'm using like my everyday carry journal. And just like you saw with Northwood's rubber stamps, when you use the water-based marker and add water, it spreads. You can paint with it. So I've gone through the gamut of markers. These are alcohol markers, so I'm going to leave this even out of the conversation because alcohol-based markers are a totally different breed and have no place in my journals here because they will bleed through the paper. So we're taking them out of the equation. My absolute favorite to do the illustration with are these Faber-Castell Pitt artist pens because it's an India ink, waterproof. So if I I'm going to use the mixed media 160 GSM mixed media sheet. So if I take this India ink pen and let's just say I make some crazy artistic flower of some sort, right? We can even in the middle. If I come now with a wet brush and do this, nothing happens. It doesn't bleed, it doesn't wash away. But the only thing is these India inks don't come in colors. And you don't want to use, here's like an Arteza water brush marker, because like Northwood's there, if I use this and come across, it's going to start bleeding and spreading. But Micron has these Pigma archival ink pens that say right on there for waterproof and fade-proof lines. So these too, take the water, once I found them I was really excited, so I bought the whole gamut, which runs all different pen sizes. All the 0.5s are in my bag. Artist Loft also has an illustration pen that says pigmented ink. Then Tombow, I found these also. These are water-based pigment ink. Fuden no Suke. I'm really surprised that these this water-based. I have to say, I really don't like these markers at all. I did just find an application for them though recently. What for? But that makes it so that I can come in now with my watercolors and make a watercolor-like effect. Right, so now if I wanted to do this, so I guess what it comes down to is, for me and what I do, I always look for the word pigment on the marker so that I can illustrate an outline in color, but then fill in with watercolor without the marker bleeding. And her Tombow water-based markers, she just put a few dots on the paper and was able to spread it with the water. And like she said, the paper that you use makes all the difference in the world on how the water-based markers are going to spread. Moving on to Pink and Maine, they were doing demos with their Mink foil applicator. Now I love Pink and Maine for their dyes for die cutting, but I also love that the owner, Michelle Curry, donates profits to the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
So what we're demoing here today is the new Mink Machine from Pink and Maine. American Crafts actually makes it, and we private label it.
I really enjoyed talking to someone in person about foiling. It's so wonderful that home crafters are able to create such stunning foil effects. But having played with foiling at home, I had additional questions. This demo opened up such a can of worms for me that as I was editing this video, I had to, this demo opened up such a can of worms for me, so much so that I wound up making an extra separate video just about foiling. So I'll put a card up here, I'll drop it in the description down below, I'll add a card at the end, whatever. If you want to know more about foiling, what I love about it, and how I struggle with it, make sure to catch that video. Let's move on. Check out this cutie pie. Aw, hi Frankie.
Hello, sweetie.
Frankie.
Hi. Hi, you want to smell my kitty cat? Oh, you're licking my fingers. This is cat.
Next up at the Paper Hollow, I discovered Vellum Embossing boards. This is new to me. I've never seen this before. I thought these went through a die cutting press, but they don't. I love using vellum. Lucky for us, there was a demo.
These are called Vibe, which is called Vellum Impressions Beautifully Embossed.
Okay.
They're laser etched boards that have little grooves in them. You put your vellum down, tape it, rub it with a little bit of wax paper. This helps your tool glide. Take a 1mm stylus and follow the grooves. You're turning the vellum white. If you lift up one side, you can see where you've missed, like right here.
Okay.
So put it back down, finish that up.
So there's no extra tool to buy? I mean, other than your
You don't need a light box and you don't need a machine.
Wow.
If you go outside the lines, it does not make a mark. You get a perfect image every time. As long as it's on the board, it does not hurt the vellum.
That's awesome.
They're manufactured in the States by American veterans.
Oh, say that again. My husband's a veteran, please.
They are manufactured here in the States by American veterans.
Yay, that's awesome.
You color it on the same side you just embossed on. So if you take it off the board, you color it, then you flip it over so that the bumpy side is up.
Okay.
So like this one I colored with markers, just scribbled all over the back, but when you flip it over, all those white lines still show.
That's awesome. And you then put some glitter on the front.
This one actually has Wink Stella.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
God, that was so easy. I thought it was going to be complicated. I love exploring the aisles and learning about companies I've never heard of before. I'm sorry I didn't see this demo, but these polishes used with embossing folders are so beautiful. Look how gorgeous that is. You obviously emboss the cards first and then use that sponge applicator and rub it over the cards. Even if you flip it the other way on the unembossed side. I think there's a word for that. But look at how gorgeous. The best thing about these conventions is when you actually have some time to connect with somebody new. I was excited to sit for this demo because you know I love inking up tags. But I discovered more than just shimmering sprays I hadn't heard of before. I also discovered and connected with this shimmering lady, Shalana Glass. Hi, Shalana. Shalana was there to help demo the iZink line of paints and dyes. And while we were in this creative space together, I learned she is a fellow YouTuber. We connected over the aspirations and fears of creating content and also bonded over health and wellness. Shalana suffers with her own medical issues. It's just so amazing how this world of paper crafting is such a boilerplate for the conversation of caregiving and self-care. It was really great getting to meet Shalana and getting to know her better. I put her YouTube page down in the description, so make sure to check her out. Now she's a card maker and will show tutorials on how to make cards. She even works with an organization, Cards for Warriors, which is close to my heart because of my husband who's a veteran. So go check her out. So after I got home, that card that I was making, I added a pink flamingo, Be Bright, and Sparkly. Oh, guys, there was just so much to see and do, and I really just love having some me time to just walk around and experience, not only the stuff, but the people. It's really about the people around the stuff. And I feel so blessed that it's actually close enough to home that it really is just a day trip for me. So way to go, Stampercon! And Blue Knight Rubber Stamps, thanks for having a location in Allentown. And of course, as you know, it is not easy to be around all that stuff and not want to buy everything that's there. I only spent $14 that day. Oh, vendors at the con just cringed. However, like Stampers Anonymous had a coupon code, and I was inspired by some of the vendors that after I got home I did some online shopping. So make sure to look for an unboxing. It won't be a big unboxing, but hey, any unboxing is fun to watch. So look for that video too. And yes, Simon Hurley will find those solar pastes in my box opening. I couldn't take it any longer. Hey, so let me know about your favorite conventions that you go to, or if you know of others in my area, that'd be cool. Yeah, and down in the comments, let me know too if any of those demos inspired you or helped you out in any way. I'm so happy I got to share this experience with you. Don't forget to look for that supplemental foiling video. And of course, remember to laugh at life. Laugh a lot. See you soon, guys.